Gentlemen, we need to talk. My wife says you're trying to get kids to smoke.
That's just not true.
Well, what about this toy?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Peter Griffin was actually nice to someone.
Oh, what the hell?
I love you too, buddy. Come on, Stewie. Let's go home.
For this list, we'll be looking at notable moments where Peter Griffin wasn't a complete, inconsiderate, thoughtless oaf. What time do you remember Peter being a good guy? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Taking Stewie to Disney World. In the early seasons, Peter wants to be a good dad.
You could make a box fort. See, here's a box. You could pretend it's a fort. Actually, that sounds like fun. I want this.
When Lois tells Peter to bond with Stewie in this episode, he does so by teaming up with his baby to torture his wife over and over again. Of course, this backfires, and Lois ends up punishing Stewie, who becomes mad at Peter after he doesn't take his side.
What's the matter with you, fat man? Stop her! Help me, you fool! You traitor! I trusted you, but you're a wuss!
To make it up to Stewie, Peter takes him on a surprise trip to Disney World. It is an example of Peter's tendency to excess. If he wants to do something nice, it's going to be over the top.
Oh, Stewie, there you are. Thank God. Why are you dressed like Rerun?
Number 9. Taking on Big Tobacco. When a tobacco company took over the toy factory Peter worked at, it promoted him to an executive position and gave him countless perks. Peter was able to give his family lobster for dinner, and he was even given his own company suck-up.
So, good news about the Yankees.
I hate the Yankees.
Pack of cheaters, that's what they are. I love your tie.
I hate this tie.
It's awful, it's gaudy, it's gotta go.
However, the company eventually wanted Peter to lobby politicians in Washington, D.C., and when he sees that his son is addicted to cigarettes, he urges Congress to fine the tobacco company.
Lois was right. Children under 4 shouldn't smoke. Look, I don't care about this stupid job anymore. Cigarettes are bad.
Early episodes often gave Peter a moral test that he eventually passed. But we're not so sure Peter in the later seasons would be so honorable.
Well, that's my mama.
Number 8. Sparing a turkey's life. After Peter irresponsibly eats a turkey reserved for a Thanksgiving dinner, Lois tasks him with finding another turkey for them to eat.
You and Brian better get another turkey right now, and don't bother coming back until you do.
Peter and Brian go on a long journey, which includes breaking into a zoo to get a live turkey.
Sorry, can't hear you. Too busy saving our family's Thanksgiving.
However, when Peter brings the turkey home and is about to butcher the animal with a golf club, he backs out.
Wow, I read that look wrong.
At the risk of enraging Lois further and ruining Thanksgiving, Peter decided he couldn't bring himself to kill an innocent creature. Unfortunately, this touching act of compassion is spoiled by Chris. Number 7. Becoming an advocate for migrant workers. Peter starts off this episode as fiercely anti-immigrant, calling for an office policy at his workplace where everyone must prove their citizenship.
Maybe we should run a company-wide check to make sure all our personnel are legal citizens.
Now you're talking, Angela.
However, it is revealed that Peter was actually born in Mexico, and his mother never bothered to have him naturalized.
Question number 1. Who discovered America?
Dick York?
No.
Dick Sargent.
As a result, he loses his job and must work for Carter. While working at Carter's estate, he comes into contact with immigrant families, finding out how hard they work and how rough they have it. Thinking of others for a change, Peter takes it upon himself to stand up for the marginalized group.
Immigrants built this country, and I say it's time for us to take it back. Who's with me?
Could you say whole speech again in Spanish?
The episode has a nice arc for Peter, where he screws himself with bad karma and redeems himself with good karma. Number 6. Accepting Chris and his passion for drawing. Of his 3 children, Peter is probably most supportive of Chris, though that support tends to be misguided.
Dad, you don't really have to do this.
Yes, I do. No boy of mine is gonna get booted out of the Scouts.
Such as the case in this episode, when Peter tries to get Chris reinstated in Scouts, despite his son no longer wanting to be part of the organization. When Peter and Chris are alone in the woods as part of a vision quest, Chris opens up to him about how he really wants to draw rather than participate in Scouts.
I don't want to be a scout, Dad. I just don't have fun there. I guess you're pretty disappointed in me.
Although initially hesitant, Peter decides that Chris should pursue his passion, complementing his artistic talent.
I probably don't say this often enough, but I'm really proud of you, Chris.
Thanks, Dad.
Given how much of a monster he is to Meg and how indifferent he is to Stewie, this is about as good as it gets when it comes to Peter and parenting. Number 5. Saving a man's life. Brought in to help fight a fire at a burning restaurant, Peter rushes in to save the manager.
If I go in there, I could get hurt. No, with great mustache comes great responsibility.
However, in the process, Peter loses his mustache, which ironically inspired his act of bravery. In the first part of the episode, Peter put a lot of effort into growing his mustache, and it changed his outlook on the world. This made the sacrifice all the more meaningful, and we recognize how lost Peter is without it.
It's a mustache, Lois. What, you never seen a mustache before?
Lois, would you mind calling the police or something?
Quiet, mustache!
At least he was rewarded with an unlimited supply of hamburgers for his heroic deed, which he naturally takes too far.
I no longer feel the pain. Come to think of it, I can't really feel anything on the left half of my body.
Really? That doesn't sound good.
Number 4. Using his influence as Lando Griffin to elevate Meg's social status. To encourage students at Jameswood High to stop licking hallucinogenic toads, Peter adopts the fake persona Lando Griffin.
You'll get chills all through your body, and you'll lose all control.
The act works, and Lando becomes the most popular person at the school, having scored a date with Connie D'Amico at the winter ball. However, having counted on Lando to boost her popularity, Meg is distraught with this decision.
Hey, I thought you were taking me to the dance.
Something suddenly came up.
At the ball, Peter sets things right by pretending he wants to go out with Meg, but was rejected.
My first choice was Meg Griffin.
What?
Meg Griffin! She's right over there in the back.
With this act, Peter has given up a second chance to be the cool kid at high school, but he made Meg look good. Number 3. Getting Peter Frampton to play as a wedding anniversary gift. At the beginning of this episode, Peter decides to play golf with his buddies rather than celebrate his wedding anniversary with Lois.
Look, maybe we should play another time.
Screw that. I busted my ass keeping Lois busy so I could be here. Now let's grip it and rip it.
After a freak accident, Death comes to Peter and shows him how he's taken Lois for granted. Having realized his mistake, Peter asks Death to coerce legendary artist Peter Frampton to play one of his songs live as an anniversary gift for Lois.
If you want to live, come with me. And bring your guitar and bring that thing you used to make it go wah, 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 wah.
While this favor isn't nice for Peter Frampton, forcing him to play music against his will, it is a sweet romantic gesture on Peter's part toward his wife.
Oh, Peter, our song.
Happy anniversary, Lois.
This is the most romantic gift you've ever given me.
Number 2. Saving Cleveland from Rednecks. This good deed came from an episode of The Cleveland Show, where Peter made a rare appearance.
I'm sorry. I would have called, but I didn't want to. You moved away and I moved on, and so should you.
But I thought we were friends.
Feeling snubbed by Peter, Cleveland invites his friends from Stool Bend, Virginia on a camping trip. Unfortunately, they end up getting kidnapped by a bunch of hillbillies. However, Peter comes in at the last minute and saves the day with the help of the evil monkey.
4 against 2. Thanks for your help, monkey.
He was able to figure out what the hillbillies' intentions were just from picking up on Donna telling him Cleveland was going camping with friends. Though Peter isn't always the ideal friend, he is incredibly loyal.
And I know, deep down in my heart, I still love you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Saving Brian's life. Brian is grateful to be a part of the Griffin family after Peter took him in when he was a stray.
Wait. You hungry? Because, my wife makes us beefaroni casserole out of this world.
However, in this episode, Brian feels unappreciated by Peter and leaves the family to strike out on his own once again. Things don't go well for Brian, and he's put on trial where he could be euthanized.
Oh, he's cute. Aren't you precious? Lethal injection. Next.
Peter shows up as a character witness for Brian and pours his heart out to the jury. And when that doesn't work, he gives them each a bribe of $20 to let Brian go.
The law is the law, and it cannot be circumvented by pretty words.
I'll give you each $20.
Deal, he can go.
In doing so, Peter shows Brian he will always have support in the Griffin household. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.